You can click one button on Zillow to schedule a showing to look at a house here in St. Louis and end up in a 6-month agreement with an agent that you barely know. And in Missouri, you may not have any representation at all if you're not willing to sign a contract. I've been in real estate for over a decade now, and I've watched buyers time and time again walk into a contract and they don't even realize it. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it happens. That way you're in the driver's seat with the agent that you're going to work with, instead of Zillow telling you, here's an agent that's a great fit for this location. Now, most buyers, they just want to see a house. They just want to go and look and see what their options are because they've been online for months now and they're getting to the point they're really ready to write an offer on something and make that big life change. And Zillow knows this. The algorithm shows them the buyers that are very serious based on their search habits and the properties that they're saving. And when you're ready, an agent that has been paying a ton of money is there to greet you. A lot of times the buyer feels trapped because they know that this home may not last long. And if they want to get in there, they know the easiest route is to click schedule a showing. And that's exactly what Zillow wants you to do. Most buyers think that they're just walking into a house, they're going to go look at it. The agent is just opening the door for them, and that's their job. But most Zillow agents are working with Zillow and going through sales training to be able to push you into an agency agreement to get you to convert. And the question is, why does Zillow need you to convert? Because those agents are paying a referral fee for every buyer that closes. In Missouri, if you're working with an agent and they're showing you houses, they're technically a seller's agent, and their fiduciary duty is actually to the seller's agent and the seller, which means they're legally obligated to protect the seller's interest, not yours. So if you tell them that you love the house, you're willing to write an offer, that you'll probably even consider going over asking, and maybe the inspections aren't that important to you. That agent can then use that information and share that with the listing agent in order to get that offer accepted, because until you actually sign an agency agreement, they have no confidentiality to you. And most buyers, they're waiting until they write an offer to sign the agency agreement. And that's actually the trap. That's how you go from looking at a house to talking to an agent and finding a home that you really want to write on, writing on it, and then getting stuck with a 6-month agreement. But technically, it's not a shady move or anything. That's just how real estate works. And legally, we can't represent your interest until we have a signed agency agreement with you. So what are the best ways to figure out what agent you actually want to work with before you go and look at a house and write an offer? Because in order to write your offer, the buyer's agent has to represent you. So really, you're looking at two paths. Don't sign anything and go unrepresented and probably not be able to get into homes. Or you sign an agency agreement with a buyer's agent that you just met at one house and interviewed with, which they're all counting on. They know that the stats show about 85% of buyers work with the first agent that they're going to meet. Here's 3 things that you can do instead. You can go to open houses first. There's no pressure, there's no commitment, and you just have to show up between the hours of 12 and 2, typically here in St. Louis. You can go with a friend that already has an agent, and you don't need to interview that agent, but you can watch and observe how that agent works and how they represent your friend while they're looking at homes that they're seriously considering writing an offer on. Or 3, and this is what I recommend, before you ever step foot in a house, you interview at least 2 to 3 agents. You want to know what they've been doing over the last 5 years during the ups and downs of the real estate market. What I recommend is that you interview at least 3 agents before you ever walk into a house. Not the showing, not the driveway, but you should be meeting them either at their office or possibly a Starbucks or a coffee place, and get an idea for who they really are and how they represent their clients in various scenarios. That's why I put together stlhomejourney.com. It's going to walk you through all those things that you need to know, that when you're ready to interview an agent, you'll have this in your back pocket. Or you can use it to interview me if you're looking here in St. Louis and you want an agent to work with. Zillow really isn't the problem. The problem is representation. And Zillow has just taken advantage of the process of home buying because they know that you as a buyer can't legally go into a house without some sort of representation. And if you don't sign anything, that agent represents the seller. And if you do sign something, you're more than likely going to work with that agent up until you buy and close on a home. If you want more breakdowns like this, feel free to subscribe. Have you ever signed an agreement and tried to get out of it with a real estate agent? And how terrible was it trying to get out of that agreement with an agent you had just met? Until the next video, I appreciate you watching.